Oh, yes.
We are registered this. This is Mr. Point, not MIST, and I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I don't actually have a name for my topic because it's hard to explain.
It sounds like an interesting one.
It's pretty much things that you wanted to happen that did, but I need to explain the story of it. I don't mean like I really want a movie of this thing or I really want a game of this thing and it happened.
Yeah.
It's a bit more sinister than that.
Do you mean I really hope my ex-girlfriend gets hit by a bus and she does?
No, but I guess it's kind of more on the lines of what I was thinking, but that's just a bit of a harsh example.
Alright, okay.
No, basically, what springs to my mind is it's happened a while ago now.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go and get petrol.
Yep.
The petrol station I used had two pumps, left and a right hand side.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fairly standard small little petrol station.
Mm-hmm.
So I, also my petrol can's on the left, I'll pull into the petrol pump on the right.
Yep.
And I'll wait. I don't try and go past people. If they're going to move, then I'll move to the top.
Yeah.
Or I'll stay at the back. People that go on the wrong side and then try and stretch the thing across them
Yeah, it annoys me as well.
annoys me. So, however,
I've done that.
oh, you're
Don't
the worst
do that,
person in the world.
Pandy.
Anyway, so this particular time, I was waiting to get petrol.
Yeah.
I was queuing up, obviously, and then I got the space, so I came up at the back, so there was something in front of me. And I was filling up. I think I was just at the point of getting out of the car at this point, and then that guy pulled up, and from behind, some girl pulled up really sort of bad driverish, and then reversed.
Yeah.
So I was already a bit annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was on the wrong side.
Mm-hmm.
So not only was she being impatient and badly driving, she was also on the wrong side of the petrol pump.
Mm-hmm.
And so she stretches it across the top of a car.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
scratches the shit out of the car as well, doing that with a pipe.
well, potentially.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
But I was just like, I want you to get that stuck in your car. I want you to get that stuck in your car.
Yeah.
And then I was paying for my petrol and stuff, and she was also filling up her car.
Mm.
I was about to pull out, and Sarah was with me, and she was like, she's got that stuck in her car. And I'm like, yes, thank you. It feels so good that she decided to pull across me and it already annoyed me. She's
Yeah.
on the wrong side of the pump, and she got it stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was driving past, and I was just looking, and she was there pulling it, trying it, and it just couldn't come out of the car. And then some chap that was behind her, some older guy that probably thought, oh, woman in distress,
Yeah.
went and helped her and got it out. But, which he got to the point where I started to feel slightly bad, but it was enough good that I felt very pleased with that moment.
Was this woman young or old or mid-aged?
She was early 20s probably.
Blonde.
Yeah,
Blonde.
she sounds like it's sort
No,
of...
no, she was,
Not that there's anything wrong with blonde.
No,
blonde
but
drivers.
she seemed like she was fairly new to passing,
Oh.
I imagine, and she wasn't being the most careful.
Or patient.
Yeah, and she was very attitudey,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it couldn't have happened to someone nicer.
Yeah.
So, so that's basically it.
Yeah.
That happened. I wanted that to happen, and it did,
Mm.
and I enjoyed that. So, what stories do you have?
That's a really tough one, to be honest with you.
It is, yeah. 'Cause I prepared.
I don't
this.
think I've ever had a moment in time where I've wanted something to happen and it's happened. I mean, I've had like fortunate circumstances where something good's happened without me really wanting it to happen. I don't know if that counts.
I guess it could count.
It's kind of like touching on the whole karma sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there was a time when again I didn't really want it to happen because I didn't know it was going to happen. But when I was coming back from Japan on the school trip, me and my friends got separated, and I was like sat between two people I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like two of my friends were sat like on at, like the front of the row, like next to the emergency exit. But like there was one seat empty where they were sat. But I sat in my designated seat for takeoff and whatnot, and I went to sit in my seat like when there was bringing the meals down. Like I went back to my seat so I could get my lunch, and the speed I eat, I was done in like 5 minutes. And then I thought, well, I'm done here now. I'm going to go sit back with my friends and I've eaten. So I went and sat back down there. And I got a second lunch. The woman just handed it out and I was just like, sweet.
This isn't where I thought that was going to go. That's it.
Is it not?
No, I thought you were going to end up sitting next to someone else. Or
No. I sat with my friends and they gave me another lunch and I was just like, score. That is possibly the best thing that's ever happened to me. 2 lunches on a plane.
I went to...
That's not really to do with Dan's
No, it's not.
topic, though,
I didn't want 2 lunches, but I got 2 lunches.
Isn't this bad things happening to people, not good things?
No, whatever it is in that situation that you I guess it's more bad, I guess, generally.
That's the thing, though. I don't generally wish bad things on people.
I don't either, but I
Slightly,
guess that's what you mean by karma, though.
Yeah.
Someone's doing something stupid, like kids that are always trying to pull wheelies or things like that.
Yeah.
So one guy was doing it outside the cinema once. He was with some girls, so he was mucking around on his skateboard and fell over. That was the case of like, I want you to fall over, trying to show off, and he did. Another story that I had actually was when I was much younger. Me and my sister didn't get on with any of the kids in where we lived, so we were definitely. You were also around the corner, but I mean, like the main bulk of people that lived next door to me.
You mean the people who used to like try and threaten us and
stuff? We didn't get on with them very well, and we were not picked on really, but like we were known as the odd ones out or whatever. And they were all it snowed, and they'd built like a snowball up to the side of like the small little wall outside of the front of one of the houses, and they're all mucking around. And they're all taking it in turns to go from the wall and trying to walk across this snowball. Yeah. And then obviously like, I want you to fall. And one of them did, obviously. And then he did a really big hissy fit, and then you could see him walk all the way home. And everyone else was laughing at him.
No, I guess it's like you say, it's when like you see some guys who are hanging around like with a group of girls, and you can tell they're definitely peacocking, and they're just like, look at me. I'm being awesome right now. I'm doing something clever.
Yeah.
I'm just like walking out into a road full of traffic because this is how cool I am.
I don't like where you're taking this, Andy.
No, I've never seen somebody get hit by a car.
No, I hope you don't want that to happen either.
I don't want it to happen.
Dan has just
curious.
I didn't see you get hit by a car.
I didn't see it at all. I don't remember a thing.
He didn't see it.
Are you sure you didn't see it, but you just had like
once he'd pushed you,
concussion sort of thing, but even though you weren't involved?
I blacked out.
Yeah.
I had like a memory lapse. I think they call it like your brain knows that you're about to process something you don't want to know, and it just chopped it out.
Yeah, because Stan was with me when I got run over. And you just like remember waking up facing the other direction, right? Yeah.
You started to walk out. We heard the screeching and things, and everything just went black, and then I was just facing sergeants. And I was like, what actually happened? Did something happen? So it was a bizarre day.
But no, I can't think of any examples of me wanting something to happen and it happens. I mean, there's been times where I've wanted something to happen and it hasn't happened.
The only kind of examples I have of that is not so much real life, but more movies and TV shows, where you know like a character is a complete utter arsehole and you really want something bad to happen to them, and then something does happen, like really bad happen to them. Like in Walking Dead, for example, when you really can't stand a character and then they get bitten, and it's like, yay, they're gonna die.
So we know where Rod goes with this topic. He just wants death and destruction.
I wanted actually she called
Michonne?
No, Skylar.
Oh, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I hate her. I have never watched a TV show with a character I hated more than her, to the point where she played that character so well that if I see her in anything else, I will not watch it because I hate you.
So how did you feel, spoilers, how did you feel when in one of the episodes she tries to kill herself in the swimming pool?
How did I feel?
Because you hate this woman so much. Yes. Like, when she, like, obviously everything was getting too much for her and she couldn't actually deal with what was going on, she thought the easiest way to deal with this is to kill myself. Yeah.
I think I know the one you mean. I can't remember my exact feeling, but I'm fairly sure I knew that she would survive.
You see, there was a point in that show where I agree she was very annoying, because it's kind of like...
Snake!
Snake! I feel like crazy. I'm such a wimp.
Oh, Big Boss is dead.
Well,
He's been dead ever since you recast him, let's be honest.
I think everyone's going to fall over now. It's kind of leaning backwards.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
See, this is the thing. Modern figures, why the hell doesn't it build them to stand up?
I don't know.
What's the point? You've got to buy some stupid thing that hugs them around the waist.
Yeah.
What's the point? Why don't you just make them so they don't topple over? That Metal Gear Solid 2 Solid Snake from the is it the 15th anniversary figures?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the stupid wonky feet that move around, and then no matter what position he falls over, to the point where yours fell over so regularly his head fell off.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Why make that as a toy? It's not even a toy. That's a collectible piece.
Yeah, I think it got to a point where it kept falling over. I actually blue tacked his feet.
I blue tacked mine down as well because I had Solid Snake riding Big Boss and MGS4 Old Snake, and none of them could stand up, and they all threw each other off the shelves every single night.
You see, that's kind of like why.
That must have scared the hell out of you if it was in the middle of the night when that happened.
Yeah, it made me jump.
I mean,
times,
I bought MGS2 Solid Snake, and then after my experiences with that, I just thought no. And no, I can't deal with this. It's not standing up. I'm not going to piss about with blue tack. It's not worth it.
The way I display him now is I'll get one of the big ones to stand up, but they're leaning, and then he leans with his head into the crotch.
That's kind of what I do.
So it's like Big Boss and Solid Snake. It's just
resting his head, nestling his head in his crotch.
Yeah. And actually, the one that stands up best is Raiden.
Mm-hmm.
So take that, Raiden haters. Carry on with your story. I forgot what you were.
Talking about breaking
Skylar.
Bad.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You find her annoying. It's kind of like, stop getting in the way of Walt being a drug kingpin.
It's the more that she's like, you're dealing with cancer, but you're always disappearing. How could you? I'm going to self-harm. I'm going to do things to get attention. It's like, shut up.
To be fair, though, if I had a loved one who was diagnosed with cancer and they went missing, I would be scared shitless. I'd be like, where have they gone?
Yeah. And you would be so annoyed and you'd be really mad at them.
Oh, yeah, but then I wouldn't self-harm.
You would be like, well, I'm going to start doing all the things that you hate. Take that, you dying man that I love so much.
No, but to me, that wasn't the thing I found annoying about her. It was the fact that all Walt wants to do is provide for his family. Fair enough, he's breaking the law to do it.
Yeah.
You know, he's making meth, he's selling meth. But he's
murdering people.
And he's murdering people.
I've never watched Breaking Bad.
You need to watch it. It's a good show.
What actually is it about? Because from the show's description I've read about it, it just doesn't sound interesting at all.
What do you believe it is?
Yeah.
Like
how many have you actually watched any episodes?
No. None at all.
Like Dan said, what is your initial thoughts of what do you think the show is about?
Kind of like Gotham, but without the superhero bit and more drugs.
See, I've never seen Gotham.
So I like the fact that with Breaking Bad, which is quite old now, not that old, but it's a good few years old now.
It ended like last year, didn't it?
No, it was 2 years ago, I think.
Was it? Was it really 2013?
So
it's been 6 seasons, hasn't it?
There was 5 seasons. So it's
but the split season 5 into
so it's at least 6-7 years.
Did it get
6 years?
Did it get cancelled?
No,
it finished. They had an end point. That's what they worked to.
And they've now got a spin-off show.
But yeah, so you got 6 years of Breaking Bad, and House of Cards, which is what, 3 years old.
3 years,
now.
Yeah.
And yet you've both compared them to Gotham, which is the newest show out of all of them.
Yeah, it's only because I watched Gotham.
I know, but I just
you know what I mean when I say that, though, right?
I've never watched Gotham, so no.
I've not watched Gotham either.
Kind of just like a city where it's like overrun by crime and it's got loads of drugs and stuff.
That's not really what Breaking Bad's about. It's
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
It's about Walt. It starts off with Walt. He gets diagnosed with cancer in the first episode, and he's worrying about how he's going to pay for his treatment and whatnot. And
is a everyday man.
Yeah, he's a chemistry teacher. He used to work with another guy at this company called, I think it was before Grey Matter. And he's a really, really smart guy.
He was screwed out of his actual potential by his so-called friends, and now he's working a teaching job which is a minimal level of what he could potentially be doing.
And he gets diagnosed with cancer.
And he's doing his part-time garage work as well.
At the car wash.
Yeah.
With the guy with the really thick eyebrows.
Yeah.
This sounds so boring.
It's not boring.
This is just the premise of it.
This is the problem, though. It's like I've had people where I work who said I give shows 2 episodes to get me hooked, and this show didn't get me hooked in the first 2 episodes. And I was like, well, that's fine, but you're really not giving it a fair enough chance, because which episode is it with the bathtub bit? When
it's quite a way in, but
when Walt tells Jesse to get a
use the acid, isn't it?
yeah, and he puts him in the bathtub and it just dissolves through, and there's just that horrible mess on the floor.
The thing that appealed to me, I heard lots of things good about the show. I watched it, I enjoyed it. I wasn't like immediately hooked on it, but I saw the picture of Heisenberg, and it's like, I want to get to that point. That looks good, and it's definitely worth watching. It's almost like it starts kind of comically,
but then
it takes a very dark turn, and it's still kind of comically, but it's like this has gone much different direction.
It's like with Tortuga, when when his head's put on that turtle, and then it just explodes.
Do you think I would like it though?
I think so, but you'd have to give it.
Yeah, I would say at least watch the first season, which I think is only like 12 episodes or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So the actual show isn't running anymore, but the spin-off one still is.
The spin-off one, I think they're filming the second season at the moment. That's also a good show.
I've not watched it.
It's decent. It's basically Saul, but it's like this show. It kind of like the first episode. It shows Saul like when he's changed his identity and whatnot, and I think that bit's in black and white. And then like he's reminiscing about basically how he got to where he is now, and it like takes you back to before he was Saul Goodman, and like how he became that sort of literally a criminal defense lawyer.
Yeah.
Like where he just defends the criminals and pretty much gets them off on everything. It's very interesting to see.
I'd like to watch it. No.
Definitely watch it.
Oh, it's good.
I'll have to check it out.
I've completely lost track of how we got onto that.
Because we were talking about that character in the show.
Skylar.
He didn't like.
But I can't remember quite. Oh, Karma, I guess from TV
Yeah.
shows. Karma, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
I don't know. I guess going back to the topic, have you ever watched Dexter?
No.
Well, that show is about a serial killer who only kills other serial killers.
All right. Spoilers.
He pretty much tells you like the first 5 minutes.
Spoilers.
It's an old show.
I'm kidding.
If you haven't seen Dexter, then screw you.
It's old, yeah. Oh, take that, Rod.
In your face. Screw you in the face.
Yes, I'm going.
But yeah, there's a character in that who, like, he suspects that Dexter isn't all, because Dexter works for the Florida Police Department as a blood spatter, like expert.
Right.
So they bring him into the crime scenes to like analyze, like to basically by looking at the blood spatter, you can determine how a person was murdered, but then he basically like uses the crime scenes to like track down the killer before the police, and then he kills them himself. And there's this other police officer who's like always suspecting that Dexter, there's something off about him, and then he like starts following him around at one point. And even though like Dexter's not exactly the most moral of guys by killing people, you just think, stop trying to get in his way. And there's a bit where it's like, I really hope something happens to you, and it kind of does, due to Dexter. But that's like you say, when you say, have you ever wanted something to happen and then it's happened? The only time it's like when I'm watching a TV show and there's a character I don't particularly like.
Yeah.
I think, I want something bad to happen to you so that you don't get in the way of the main character's progress.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a difficult. I don't really wish people would die.